All right, welcome in to another day in our daily Devos in the Psalms. Pastor Rick here. We're jumping right in today, not wasting any time to Psalm 73. Got it up here on the screen for you, and so we're just going to jump right into verse 1 and let's go for it. The title today is God's Ways Vindicated, and you'll see exactly what he's talking about here in just a minute. So, verse 1 God is indeed good to Israel, to the pure in heart. But as for me, my feet almost slipped, my steps nearly went astray. For I envied the arrogant, and I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have an easy time until they die, and their bodies are well fed. They are not in trouble like others. They are not afflicted like most people. Therefore, pride is their necklace, and violence covers them like a garment. Their eyes bulge out from fatness. The imaginations of their hearts run wild. They mock and they speak maliciously. They arrogantly threaten oppression. They set their mouths against heaven, and their tongues strut across the earth. All right, verse 10 here. Therefore his people turn to them, and therefore his people turn to them and drink in their overflowing words. The wicked say, "How can God know? Does the Most High know everything?" Look at them, the wicked. They're always at ease, and they increase their wealth. Did I purify my heart and wash my hands in innocence for nothing? So I mean, this is just Asaph just being real, right? Like, man, I'm trying to be among the pure in heart. I'm trying to set my eyes, my heart, my on the things of God. I want to dedicate myself to Him. I want to keep myself away from wrongdoing. I want to treat people with love and care and compassion. And like, did I purify my heart and wash my hands in innocence for nothing? Because look at the wicked. They're all at ease all the time, and they increase in their wealth. And it's like, come on, what is going on? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you've had this conversation with the Lord. Maybe you haven't, but um, you know, I definitely have had these conversations with the Lord at times. Like, what in the world? What's going on, God? Like, um, so for I am afflicted all day long and punished every morning. If I had decided to say these things aloud, I would have betrayed your people. When I tried to understand all this, it seemed hopeless. And I think this is kind of an interesting thing. If I had decided to say these things out loud, I would have betrayed your people. And I was just thinking that sometimes there are things that we need to bring before the Lord, that we need to just bring before the Lord. Sometimes there's things you just don't need to go talking to other people about, right? Like, um, it's good to have, a confidant or two, that you can just be kind of like totally raw and real with. But man, sometimes when we run our mouths, when we're in a bad place, we can really start to kind of bring other people down and really cause some challenges for their walk, for their faith. So it's just something I was thinking about this morning as I was going through the chapter. I thought, I need to be careful. I need to be careful what I say, where I say it, when I say it, who's around when I say it, to make sure that I'm not betraying people by what I'm talking about. And again, it doesn't mean that you got to be all fakey McFakerson, but just making sure that that your heart is coming from a right place when you're talking about stuff. And so when I try to understand all this, it seemed hopeless. Listen to this, until I entered God's sanctuary. It's like the big perspective adjuster of all time. Then I understood their destiny. And that's just, we are eternal beings having a temporary physical experience, not physical beings, having a temporary spiritual experience. And so, shout out to Pastor Jack. Indeed, so when you understand your destiny, when you understand the ultimate destiny that you're headed towards, then it gives you a fresher perspective of what's going on. Indeed, you put them in slippery places, you make them fall into ruin. how suddenly they become a desolation. They come to an end, swept away by terrors, like one waking from a dream. Lord, when arising, you will despise their image. When I became embittered and my innermost being was wounded, I was stupid and I didn't understand. I was an unthinking animal towards you. That's just like, this is some rough words about yourself there, but I think when we become embittered, when we really let stuff take root inside of us, and man, it's a pretty powerful picture. I was an unthinking animal towards you, but I think sometimes we get that way with the Lord. I'll say it about me instead of us. I think sometimes I get that way with the Lord when I allow things to really take root in my heart that are causing me to be embittered, or to receive a wound that maybe I receive it from the Lord. And maybe that is not how I should be processing it, that it actually makes me stupid and not understanding, and then just becoming kind of like an unthinking animal towards the Lord. Yet I'm always with you. You hold my right hand. Come on, let's talk about the faithfulness of God. The faithfulness of God, that he's always with us and always holding our hand, always guiding us with his counsel. Come on now, that God is so faithful to bring us along, even when we have chosen to think other ways, to walk other ways, to walk in that struggle, that where are you and what in the world is going on here? Who do I have in heaven but you? Who do I have in heaven but you? And I desire nothing on earth but you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart, my portion forever. There's a really great song written off of this part of the psalm. And I think it's called God is the Strength of My Heart. I can't remember who wrote that one, but maybe we can drop it in the comments later. If you know, drop it in the comments. Maybe even link to the YouTube video of that song if you think about it. See if you can beat me to it. All right. Those far from you will certainly perish, and you destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, God's presence is my good. I have made the Lord my refuge, so I can tell about all you do. Man, God's presence is my good. Man, make that your declaration today. God's presence is my good. And make the Lord your refuge. When things are hard, make him your refuge. Rather than blaming everything on God and being frustrated with God, becoming embittered, and then not understanding and being like an unthinking animal, that whole track. Let's make this last part, my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart, my portion forever. Because who do I have in heaven but you? There's nothing on earth I desire but you. But as for me, God's presence is my good. As for me, God's presence is my good. So let's get into God's presence today. Let's focus on him. Let's worship him. And then let's tell about all he can do. Let's tell about all he does. Come on. He's so good. I hope you're encouraged today. God bless you tons and tons, and I will see you tomorrow.